All right, here is Transformers Studio Series 51 movie Soundwave from, this was Age of Extinction, I think, when he showed up as, let's see what it says. Yeah, Age of Extinction. Oh, Dark of the Moon. Did he show up as a car in Dark of the Moon? Yeah, I guess he did. His little backdrop is the same kind of village that Megatron shows up at the beginning of the movie. But here he is. He is a Mercedes. He does not come with Patrick Dempsey. He does come with a little laser beak that doesn't really transform. He does have a hinge here that allows his feet to flip forward. So he's got this little clippy bar for clip onto Soundwave in robot mode. Then you flip his feet up and he's got a little tab here that does allow him to peg into the vehicle mode if you want, but it really just kind of ruins the look of the vehicle mode because aside from the panel lines, it's actually a pretty slick looking silver Mercedes here. I wish this sat a little flatter. I don't know if I'm missing something. I don't think I am. But it would be nice if this sat a little flatter and matched up a little better back here. But a slick little Mercedes vehicle. Just a nice design overall shape. I like the silhouette of this car. Not a whole lot of transformation. Not a whole lot to the transformation, although it's pretty interesting. So we're going to come up here. Where do I start with this one? I got to get, start with, oh yeah, I got to get this down first. Pull the hood down. And then you can flip his head. My hood is very hard to get started. Especially since his head's kind of a soft plastic, so you can't really push on it, but you got to push really hard. Once it's going, you flip his head up, make sure he's got the clearance to get his horns out here. Flip his head up and around, and then you got to click again. You don't want it to sit like that. You want to snap it till it's flat, but it really does not want to cooperate. And then that's on a ball joint. And those are a secondary pain. But you really gotta, come on, it's supposed to. This is the worst this has ever been for me, but it is still a difficult thing to get done. And there's no trick to it. There's nothing to pull out here. Well, you know what? Fine. You're just going to stay like that then, I guess. All right, I see the tab there. Holy crap. You can see there's a locking tab there that's just hitting that tab. Does it sit up like that? Maybe it's supposed to sit up like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way. Oh yeah, because it's still pretty difficult to get them to spin back around. So there we go. That's going. But I feel like that tab's supposed to sit in that groove. You can see there's a groove there here in the front that's supposed to tab into. But coming up, there we go. Nope. Well, for right now, we're not going to worry about it. But you get that out of the way, and then you can hook up the arms, unhook the arms, and bring the wheels up behind his head. Bring this down, this piece. And when you're putting this back to car mode, you want to make sure that his spine comes back, and this goes all the way up in there, because you can get him to fit up properly. I say properly with this hanging down a little lower. Or if you go straight, these will still kind of fit up in there, but then this will get in the way of the arms closing. So you want to make sure that goes all the way back and up into there, and that lets the arms close properly. But anyway, bring this up, and it'll snap into the torso like that. Yeah, this really should be all the way in. Lift get his head out of the way. Lift these up behind his head. These pieces, like I said, are on ball joints, and I haven't found a way to get them, again, the clearance here, because there's a angled piece here you can see, but you basically untab them here from the front, and they should rotate around on that ball joint. You see there's a tab here. Rotate around, but the clearance on this post, no matter which direction you rotate it, always wants to pop that ball joint out before you get it all the way around. But you get this around and then lift it back up. You'll kind of see that little tab kind of fits in the slot back here. But turn that around to kind of form like a scoop there on his chest. Let's try spinning this the other way this time. See if we can't finagle this around and around. Oh, there we go. We did it. That's the first time successfully that I flipped that around without it popping off at all. Because like I said, this thing really just, you got to go really slow and clear it at just the right angle for that to come all the way around. Legs are easy, just split them apart, bring the whole thing down and around. This will stop here, bring this all the way back around until it sits into the back of the kneecap. And then if this doesn't lock into place, there's a little tab here on the side of the foot that goes right into a little tabby hole in there, and that'll lock the whole lower leg together. Just like that, same thing over here. Sometimes, like that one happened almost automatically. Like that, arms are up here. Fold this down, or unpeg that from there, and then pull the arm down, flip the, rotate it and flip the fist out, and then close the window up into there, tap it together. And that you can angle however you want. Same on this arm. Bring the arm out, flip his fist out. Come on, fist. There. No, you're starting to come out. And then there we go. Peg the window in. Bring the arm down. Angle the armor panel. That really should be sitting flat on that. And then, but this whole thing right here, fold this up. It kind of forms like a triangle thing, which then sits up here inside of his body, flat along the back. And again, you can position it however you want. But once you get him standing up straight, you should stay up here. Come on. Come on, there we go. Pick that up. And again, his head should be sitting flatter than that. I'm fairly certain. Let's look at pictures. Yes, absolutely. If you look right here, you'll see that this this chest piece should be sitting higher than that. But you can't, you have to rotate it the way I rotated it. You can't go the other way or his head will rip off. So let's see if we can't. Like I said, that's the issue right there, because instead of sliding over that piece, it's bent out. So let's see if we can't take a screwdriver here and push that forward a little bit. There we go. Okay, it still doesn't want to go in, but there we go. So that should sit flush like that. All I did was I took a little screwdriver and I pushed that tab forward just enough that that would close properly. It shouldn't be that much of a frustration to do it, but there you go. But there's SOUNDWAVE in robot mode, and he's pretty cool. He's got, like I said, I dig his car mode. I dig his robot mode. He does have some of the car just sitting on his back here, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but like he's got a neat silhouette in both modes. Ball joint head, swivel shoulders, bicep swivel, hinged elbows. No wrist articulation because it's on a pin. No waist articulation due to the transformation. Does have a ball joint at the hip as well as a thigh swivel. Hinged knees. And that's about it. He's not super posable, but like I said, he just looks like a brute. And while SOUNDWAVE is not generally the brutish, punchy character, he just kind of looks cool. SOUNDWAVE, like I said, you bring his legs down, and he's got this little clip in his feet, and then he can clip on either of these rails on SOUNDWAVE's arm. So you can have SOUNDWAVE put his arm out, have a little chat with Laserbeak. And all in all, generally a pretty cool little SOUNDWAVE. Let's see, what have I got Studio Series wise? So I don't have a whole lot of, here, I'll do Optimus Prime. I don't have a whole lot of Studio Series sitting out in regular access, but just to give you an idea of how big he is, there he is with the Studio Series Voyager Optimus. And like I said, all in all, generally pretty neat. I do wish that head worked better, although that's the first time the head has been that much of a pain. It's generally an annoyance, but that's the first time it was just completely refusing to snap into place. These things, like I said, unless you go slow and rotate them the exact proper way, they do have a tendency to pop off the ball joint, but it is a ball joint and they pop right back into place. And outside of that, the rest of the transformation is actually pretty decent. I do like that Laserbeak can clip on, and he doesn't just tab on like he does on Siege SOUNDWAVE. Like, he's actually clipped on there pretty well. Like, I wouldn't try to swing SOUNDWAVE around by him, but he's not going to fall off with just random bumping. So there is Studio Series 51, Dark of the Moon SOUNDWAVE.